Kia ora, kia ora.
Kia ora.
Let's start and welcome to the Moko Journey. It's so good to have you here. And let's start with your presentation.
Kei te pai. Tēnā koe, o tēnā koutou katoa e whakarongo mai nei. Kua kaore tātou e noho tahi ana i te wahi kotahi. Ara, kua hono tātou mā te hangarau i tēnei rā. Ko Howard Sargent, e ki ana ko Hits Moko, tōku ingoa. No te roto iti, me te waimana ahau, no reire e tupu ake au no kōrero ahau. He ringa tā ahau, e rima tau pia, me whakamahi a tērā mahi. No reire, he mihi tēnei ki a koe, mo tō wā, mo tō kaupapa kōrero i tēnei rā e hoa. He mihi anō kia koutou katoa e whakarongo mai nei. No reira, tēnā tātou. So, hello, my name is Howard Sargent, and or also known as Hits Moko online. And I'm 32 years old. I am a practicing tāmoko artist, and I have been practicing full time for just over 5 years. And
Wow, okay.
but I've been on my journey since I was about 16 years old, which was the first time I actually did my first tāmoko, and over the years just sort of didn't really take it up until about 5 years ago, and moved into that space. But I'm from the Eastern Bay. I'm from the Te Arawa and Mātātua areas. I'm from the Roto Iti area, which is close to Rotorua, close to the heart of Te Arawa. And it's on my father's side. On my mother's side, I'm from Waimana. And but I grew up in kōrero. So I acknowledge that place as well, which is sort of in between both of those places. And I have my fiance and 2 kids. And yeah, I'm very passionate about moko and all Māori arts and indigenous arts and art in general, you know.
You've said that you have made your first Moko at 16. So why you decided then, like after so much time, to become a Moko artist, and why?
Well, growing up, so I'm 32 now, so that was about 16 years ago. Growing up then, it was a little bit different to now. Instagram wasn't sort of around back then, and social media, and back then, because I was sort of mixed with ko and doing art at school, and the school I went to didn't really have a avenue for Māori art. And I was just told there, no, you should do moko. You know, you should get into that space. You know, your art's really good. And where I was at the time, there wasn't really an avenue for me, and the tattooing that was happening around me, I didn't really want to be a part of. So while I was growing up, I saw a lot of gang members getting tattoos. And
Yes, that's a topic.
yeah, and I saw, so back then too, I saw a few that didn't really have much of a tikanga or a purpose or process around their doing their tattoos or doing moko. It was just, come on, you want to get it done, let's do it. And
Okay.
no gloves, burn the needle. Like it was real old school jail type of stuff that the first um, tattoos I ever saw, and I wasn't keen on that. And all the moko artists that I sort of knew of back then were either just starting themselves or were old guys, or it was just a different process to getting into it back then. And
Yeah, because now you have, I believe, um, well, I don't know if there was already back then. Yeah, probably yes, but Tepuya, it was already,
mm,
yeah, but
yeah,
it
they
was
were.
far away, right? It was far away.
Yeah. Oh well, like and because back then it was still, I think, NZ Meki, Māori Arts and Crafts Institute, but
Ah, okay,
I wasn't really as knowledgeable as I am now about who to go to and
okay,
who I was, the spaces I should have been in. Um,
yeah,
and obviously, I was just young. Um, yeah,
yeah. You
moving.
learn growing up. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
definitely what I did. Just I sort of did it as a hobby over like after I was 16. I sort of just did maybe one or two every year, and um,
Oh, okay.
the real old mahi, but and then so yeah, a few years went by till around about 2020, and I started going back to Wananga and COVID came along, and
Yeah.
sort of in the lockdowns I started reading a bit more about moko again, and went back on my te reo journey to revitalise my language. And then that went hand in hand, I just took it as the opportunity to go back into moko, and yeah, it's been a slow sort of process, but it was meant to be. Um,
Yeah.
and
And when did you receive, like when did you start your Moko Kanohi?
um,
After 2020?
yeah, yep. So I had my mataora done by Te Haunui. Um,
Yes.
he's also my first cousin. Um,
Really
yeah, he's
incredible.
yeah, he's also a big influence of mine, and a big mentor of mine along the journey.
He's good.
Yeah, we had a moko papa that day. Myself, my mother, and my father all got done on the same day, and
Wow.
that was in November 2023. So I've had it for 2 years now, and it's definitely helped to remember the journey.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
marked a few achievements for myself. Um, but yeah, that's been a journey in itself. Just receiving moko, let alone doing it.
Yeah. Yes, but going back to you and your practice, um, as as always, I'm repetitive AF, but it's true. Like when you like usually artists have a very distinctive style, and you have it as well, and now we
Mm,
will go a bit more into it. But first thing first, I'm really curious to know who influenced your style,
mm.
if there was someone.
Um, I think like I've had a lot of different influences. Te Haunui definitely is one of my major influences because he was doing it when I was young. So he was one of the first that I saw doing actual moko, which was at our marae. And he was 17 at the time. He's a little bit older than me. And he did my sister's leg. He ended up covering it up later in time because it was one of his first tattoos he ever did. And I was there for that too. I went and saw his styles change over time, and then when I got into it, he was one of the first ones I actually went to see, and I was straight up. I said, "Oh, I'm keen to do it," and I opened that back up again, and he was open arms. He just said, "Yeah, do it." We need more out there, like from where we're from, because there's not a lot of tamako artists where we are from.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, he would be probably and a big mentor. We still catch up all the time. I actually bought his old gun off of him. Probably another would be Hirini Katini. He's native.
What a
He's
name. Another
yeah,
one.
he's outrageously good, and particularly love how he will try anything. Like
True.
every style, every if you can do it, he will do it. Like that's what I get from him. Definitely Moko, the whānau from Moko, they've been a huge influence on my tikanga and my
Yeah.
process of
Yeah, but because I always like I follow them of course on Instagram, but I always see these stories like when they do wananga, and
mm.
I'm always like, what is it like to participate in them? Like what they do, they show what they do.
um. So with wānanga, the word itself, or whare wānanga, is like a house of learning. All of the way we learn will be in some different forms of wānanga. But for moko, like for when we go to moko ora, they will go to different marae and pōwhiri, which is have our ceremony and introduce ourselves through whai kōrero and mihi,
Hmm.
and then just over the 3 days we'll all sit together and do just that. So wānanga is whakawhiti kōrero. So it's not like a lecture. It's like everybody will come to share.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so we don't really. It's never really just one person will speak over the whole weekend. They'll have different teachers come in from different parts of the country and tell you about the patterns from their part of the country,
Okay, that's nice.
and how
Like
you
probably
yeah.
that's one of my dreams. But how does it work? You have to like subscribe? Is it open just for ringata? How does it work in that
Um,
sense?
no, it's pretty open. We have tauiwi come along. There's also um, wearers are kaiwhiwhi. So
Mm.
the receivers are just as important to the kaupapa as anybody else because they'll know a lot of things themselves and the reasons why they received moko and the pain of it. They have a deeper understanding as well, being receivers. And yeah, we get some foreign tattoo artists come along to come and better their knowledge around moko. And
Wow,
yeah,
I didn't
it's
know that.
it's an open space, and but you're what the good thing around moko is they equip you with more so with the tikanga and the I guess, the process behind it, but the spiritual process. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
rather
when
than the
it comes
physical.
to to patterns and symbols, how was your journey? Like to learn them, discover them?
Um, well, that was probably, I guess, that was one of the more smoother parts for the journey because I had been doing that for a long time.
Hmm.
So it's like right at high school, was drawing puhoro and mangopare and koru and wheku and all of those types of things then. So it was just moving into like the origins of where they came from, where used, like what area used a specific design more. So that went smoothly over the years. Was that sort of accumulated on its own? Because all of those patterns are in our marae where we see them as kids. They're in our books, and so the patterns were all good. Yeah, it was just like learning where they came from and how to use them. Now, like it wasn't just go hard and do things anymore.
It's cool. That's
Mm.
cool. But again, going back to your style, I saw that you use this kind of like these dots
Oh,
style.
the dot work. Yeah.
Yeah, the dot work, which is, I mean, I don't think it's very common in Moko. Why did you decide to incorporate it? What inspired you?
One thing I've learnt recently, like maybe in the last year or two, with moko and tattoo, is that there are differences, but there are similarities between tattoo and tamako. I think, especially nowadays, um, many artists will use like there's not many of us out there that are using the old way, the tapping,
True.
the uhi and the file and all of that. So we a lot of artists lean more towards the process of tattoo than moko. And I looked at tattoo and I looked at some artists because there are other artists doing dot work. One of the main ones would that influenced me was Lance Hadfield, 818. I think he's an
Okay.
amazing
Ah, yes, 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 I
award-winning
know.
artist, and so I incorporated some of the dot work in some areas. I find it quite an elegant style, so it really suits women more, and like it's kind of if you use it right, it can look quite feminine. So that's why I like it, and other people like it. It heals well. Um, there's
Yeah.
different things to do with it, and it's still moko, like it still has the effect of moko. And the way I use it, because it is a bit nuanced, and I haven't found a lot of old meaning behind it, so I've kind of given it a meaning, which for me is represents one or the soil,
Okay.
like the sand, which ties a lot of people to the moana, to the ocean,
Yeah.
and also as the stars, which ties a lot of people
Wow.
to the sky. So with us, with Māori and moko, basically everything goes back to that, to rangi and papa, the sky and the earth.
True.
So uh,
Yes.
that's the way I see the dot work pattern when I give it to people. That's the meaning behind it. And
That's nice. Like in the previous episode, a topic that was discussed was the, inventing new patterns and find a kōrero behind them. And you just have made it in front of me, and it's so cool. Now I
yeah,
understand it even better.
yeah, I heard that because at the end of the day, like a lot of our patterns, came from nature, and the ones that did them would have like there was a time where um, the first patterns were done, and they would have been given a meaning by a person, um,
True.
and there is kōrero about that way being carried on. That there is space for new designs and new kōrero to come in. Um, so yeah, that's the big part behind dot work. Um, for me, adding that to my style, um, being able to offer that to others, you know.
Yeah, and that's cool because multiple times in this channel we have discussed about the evolution of Moko, because Moko is a lot about the ancestors, the past, but of course it's going on, like it goes even in the future. So it's pretty natural that it will develop and it will have new patterns. And the
Mm,
other cool thing, which I think is cool about your style, is that you have also this contrast between the dot work and also the heavy black parts, because you use them as well.
mm,
And all of it, it's really, the result is pretty great and nuanced. But I am also curious to know now, which meaning you give to the heavy black parts. Like, I already heard an explanation from another artist, but it's always very interesting to hear multiple visions.
mm. Um, so the blackout, that kind of goes two ways for me. The blackout can represent like te kore, which is like the beginning, the te pō, the dark, the nothingness,
Yeah.
and that even though it's the nothingness, it's what came from that. Like everything came from that. You know, the moko came from that. Um, but also, it's kind of like a little homage for me to tato and
Hmm.
how heavy blackout some of the other Polynesian arts, like especially Tahitian, um,
Okay.
and they use heavy black for to cover up everywhere, like heavy black, heavy, and so it's kind of like a homage to that,
That's nice.
like to the past, because our styles have changed over the years, but they were once, all a part of the same sort of cloth.
Hmm.
You look into the origins of them. So yeah, the blackout style has two different meanings for me. Um,
That is cool.
but yeah, so I have started doing those too. Is a part, just another, or a pattern that I have a knowledge about and I can offer to others.
Hmm.
So so and my style has changed over the years. So and it's still evolving. You know. And I hear it at some wānanga about really trying to find your style, and when you do, stick to that. Like,
Ah, okay.
but my thing is that would be very hard to try and do, because you do want to perfect a style once you do it, and then get it down to a fine tee, and looks good healed, and all of that. But I hear a lot, like, because people are on Instagram now, like, you can't copy someone's style. And
Hmm.
my thing to that is that there is ways to open up new ideas into moko, but if you're new, if you're just starting out, you need to practice some of the original styles, like, without copying them, and without, like, saying, "Oh, I'll do exactly this tamako that from Instagram on you." That's wrong.
Okay.
But
Mhm.
hi hi and tainiko patterns and pakati and all of the other motifs and things like that, they don't belong to anyone. They don't
True.
belong to one single artist. So give them a go. You know,
True.
find what you. Some people might be really good at dot work. Some people are really good at putting lines, real long, fine lines, and other people are good at blackout, and um, other people are good with colors. So give it all a go. You don't know what you might be good at.
Yeah. And speaking about copying or like other artists' work, you've posted some time ago a story, and now I will try to read it, but I don't speak Reo, so I will just try. But there was written this thing. Keiakoe te kōrero, maku te tikanga. So yours is the story, mine is the process. In relation of Kaififi who bring in designs from other artists, how often does it happen? Because I was like sure that it was known that Moko is created on the spot. Like you bring in your kōrero and the ringata draw it on you. So for me, it's strange to hear that, but tell me
Mm.
more.
So yeah, it happens all the time. Like you always get like, and so sometimes there'll be an original design. But
Okay.
a lot of people will come in with a photo from somebody's Instagram and can you
No.
do this or but they know like they know we don't want exactly that but can you do similar and
Okay.
just have to tell them I will do it in my style but if you want that then go to that artist like if
True.
you want Te Honui go to Honui if you want anyone go to you should that should be the first port of call but some will try and he was real expensive this artist how much were you charged to do it? And I'm like, I'll do it for this much. And then they'll come in and I'll do it my way anyway. Like I'm like, that's why you came to me was for this style. Um,
True.
but when when other people come in and they've got like a pre-design from one of their cousins, um, and it's just completely different to how I do it. Um, so I just tell people, I can add some of the aspects from the design, but otherwise it will be different on the day because it'll be freehand. Um, and so the way I do it, and most kaita will do it, will be from our kōrero on the day.
Yeah, and
So,
indeed, this I feel is the true magic of it. Like I had two times the experience of it because I was lucky enough that Ferdinand Gattai came here in Italy, in Milan. So I was able to meet her, know her, and receive two moko from her. And
oh,
the
cool.
cool thing is that you go there, you have your kōrero, and then magically
Mm,
the the ringata draw this piece on you, and it just looks perfect on you. And the cool thing is that you really don't have any expectation. You go into it knowing that what will come out is the right thing for you and for your
mm-hmm,
body and for your kōrero. So that is the magic and the cool thing. So sometimes,
mm,
like when I hear these stories, I'm like, you are losing a chance for really enjoy the process and the flow of it, right?
mm. Yeah, and because that's where the main the connection comes from is from that chat and um, if you know what you're listening to, then like as a ringata, when the kaiwhiwhi is telling you that kōrero, um, it should be your job to make that connection. To
Mm.
create that peace for them, and it's always a good process. Like I've it's been very rare where we've had the first design wasn't the design.
Really?
Um,
And how it goes when it happens?
wow, it's just I think it's readiness. Like some people come in and they've got a mean big kōrero, and it just all flows easy as from that because they're ready.
Yeah.
And then you get some that come in that, for me, I feel aren't ready because they'll I just do
Mm.
whatever. You know, you'll ask them,
Yeah.
and they've got not much kōrero, and then don't really. So yeah, they those ones just kind of want. Oh, that looks cool, so I just want one.
Yeah, the
You know.
aesthetic of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's across the board. It might be young ones. It's a lot of the young ones are like that, but the even some adults, yeah, it's I use might not be quite ready for it yet because it's not flowing.
Yeah. Because the other thing of Moko is that, of course, is aesthetically pleasing, is really
Mm,
beautiful to look at. And I've read at least that also in ancient times, it was like one of the purposes was also to like make the body more beautiful, like the
mm.
person who was wearing moko was more aesthetically pleasing to the eye.
Yeah, it's gone through a few different things over time. Like
Mhm.
it was definitely used as a rite of passage, and you
Mm.
got to a certain age, and now you could receive one, and people did want it like that. Like I can't wait to be their age to get that. But um, I think now like I get a lot of real young ones, like not real young ones, but like 18,
Okay.
and they come in and they're quite socially awkward a bit, and their appearance will speak for them.
No.
Like, oh, this is what they want. This is what they want it to mean, and I try and drag it out of them. I think that has a few other things attached to it. Why kids are socially awkward today. Yeah, I just have found that a lot don't know how to express themselves, and so it's hard to draw a kōrero out of that.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it's something that is happening worldwide pretty much. It was
yeah,
a bit of like the pandemic, what happened in 2020, the fact that social media now are like the main, I don't know, stage to build the relationships. So, of course, building relationship nowadays in 2025, 2026 is different than
mm.
before.
Well, my thing is, um, those are some of the things that need to be kind of worked on pre-moko.
Hmm.
So if you're going to wear moko, you need to be proud, and I think it gives them a sense of pride too when you because they always walk away like, oh, mean, thank you, and sort of open up once it's done, and it's probably a little bit of um, fear mixed in there, or like anxious because it's their first ink, so they get told for ages, oh, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna be real painful.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
too. I've got like and they walk in and some don't because I don't put my face on social media very often, and
Yeah. I
they
saw.
think I'm a bit young as well, and they get here and they're like, oh shoot, you've got a mataora, and
True.
They're a bit older, but so it's I understand. I understand that young people can be a bit shy,
Mm.
but that I just think that that should be looked at a bit more with the parents of readiness. Say, um, like it's a big step. A lot of people, depending where it is, they'll see that moko and they'll come and talk to you. And
Really? Does it happen?
yeah, yeah, I think so.
Oh, nice.
It's a conversation starter anyway.
Mm.
And so and I actually seen with some others, and I say, oh, who did that one? And so I didn't do it. And I was talking to this young guy who was about 19. I said, who did that one? And he was like, oh, don't even remember. And I was like, hmm, mate,
Okay.
that's not very good. um, so it may be on both parts, but
Mm.
that's why I tell people the main thing here after you walk away is please do your best to remember your kōrero behind your moko, because
Mm.
it's not my kōrero. That's what, so I said, kei ako e te kōrero, it's your story, it's your, you come with all of that, māku te tikanga, I will put it on you to tell that story, but it's likely I may never see you again. Um, I might see 1,000 more people before I see you again, and I think for all receivers, they need to remember that ringa can't remember every single kōrero.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we can't. It'd be amazing if you
Yes.
can, but
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, that's the bigger picture to it. Like the readiness also comes with trying to remember all of that stuff.
Yeah. Or at least record it. Like, so you can re-listen to it thousands of times. Like
Mm,
if you lose any part of your kōrero. Like especially because maybe you explain, oh, this pattern, this symbol means this, and I made it because you told me this other thing. So
mm,
I think it could be useful if like DK Fifi wants to have it kind
yeah,
of.
a lot do actually record it. They'll get to the end and they'll record me telling them what it meant. Um, and I don't expect everybody to be able to explain every line and every
Yeah,
part of the detail, but the core of it, hey, like why you came,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
if there's people in there, I want it to be about my grandparents who have passed away, and then they're, oh, I can't even remember, and I'm like, those were your family.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't forget
It's
about
pretty
that.
sad.
Yeah, majority do keep it, so that's all good. Yeah.
Mm. So now it's the time. I will ask you about some terms, one term versus the other, and you will have to explain me a bit their meanings. What are your thoughts around them? So
Mm.
the first couple is Pakeha versus Tawiwi. Now probably we know the difference, but a good refresh is always good.
Um. So the like, what is the difference between the two for me?
Mm-hmm.
Um. Well, is from what I've learnt is that Pākehā refers to a certain group.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, not all white people are Pākehā.
Mm-hmm.
The Europeans, I guess, that came in those earlier times, that's the name that they were given from the early
Mm-hmm.
Māori was Pākehā.
Mm-hmm.
And they, I guess, like they are like Kiwis,
Yeah.
you know?
Okay.
Like, so for myself, I don't consider myself a Kiwi, and I kind of
Yeah.
never have.
I wouldn't consider you a Kiwi either, honestly.
Yeah, oh, it's just like, I think that would best kind of describe the Pākehās, the Pākehās, the white people, I guess, that are from here, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that are Kiwis and that have been here for a while, and um, kind of like a iwi unto their own,
Yeah.
um, and because they've been here for a few generations now, and we've got whakapapa to them, they to us. Um, so then when you have tauiwi, that's more like a foreigner.
Hmm.
So pretty much anybody that isn't Māori but that doesn't live here,
Yeah.
kind of a
Yeah.
thing. So everybody else, like they're
Everybody outside, like New Zealand or Aotearoa, or who is not connected
mm,
to Aotearoa, right?
yeah, and like because if I look at the words, that's sort of like how they're described, but I think people can come out of that tauiwi space.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's sort of that's more of the word to describe foreigners, and like just
Hmm.
all of them, like just not from here, but that come
Yeah.
here. Um,
Yeah.
at a point, because there was a point where there were no Pākehās, like like they a term was given for that,
Yeah.
um, and they were a certain group. And like it wasn't all
True.
Pākehās, so it was that's the way I would best define them, the two.
Makes
Um,
sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're because the things I've read about them, when they did call them that, um, it wasn't a bad term, being a Pākehā.
Hmm.
Like it was yeah, it wasn't a bad thing to be a Pākehā. It was just the term that they gave them because that's what they looked like.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, it wasn't until later, and now it's sort of, I guess, it's with some not a very nice word, but it shouldn't be looked at that way. Um,
Yeah, I think that as everything, even words, have their evolution, and
mm,
they are always tied to what is happening. At the beginning of my journey in Te Ao Maori, I remember vividly the first times that I've encountered this word, and I was like it seemed to me like an insult, but I was
mm,
just reading through it, like through the
mm,
comments down the posts. It was like, you pakeha. It was really, I was like, what does it mean? And then I discovered the true meaning behind it. But I mean, I guess it comes with with what happens, and you really can't help it, because language is like this. It transforms based on people and what happens between them, like the relationships. So
mm.
yeah, but you're right, it's just a word
It's a
to
term,
define.
and it's,
Yeah.
I think some bad deeds have turned that word into being like, well, it's definitely not the same as cracker, or something like that. It's just um, yeah, and it does, I think, just cover a small group. So every white person isn't just a Pākehā, like
Yeah.
yeah, that's my whakaaro around it anyway. Like it is a good term, or was anyway.
Yeah. So the second couple is Moko versus Kirituhi. Ah,
Um, okay, so I have a big whakaaro around this. Um,
let's go.
I'm still learning about kirituhi. So if you look at the word itself, kiri, skin, tuhi,
Mm-hmm.
write or draw,
Mm-hmm.
and in some origin kōrero it doesn't come up. Like, so the word moko actually comes from one of our atua, ruo moko,
Mm-hmm.
um, in the creation of moko in like the beginning of time, beginning of Te Ao Māori. Um, but for me, I wouldn't like what I wouldn't call anyone's moko that they got from me a kirituhi. Whether you're um, Pākehā or tauiwi, it's moko is moko for me. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a little bit more research, I guess, to do about it. But for some, like, and I've heard moko artists that have done it for years and years say that kirituhi is like a form of moko with less meaning
Yeah.
that tauiwi could receive. And I thought, why would you give anyone anything with less meaning? It kind of, there's a division
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it's so long back in the days when Europeans first got here, some of them received moko and moko mokai, and even received their moko kanohi after they were fully integrated
Yes.
into the iwi and into the hapu and learnt and lived with the hapu and even married into the,
Yeah.
thus creating a whakapapa, like they've now got a genealogy to Māori,
Yeah.
and they deserve moko after that,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And that's a big thing for me. I ask a lot of people is if you're, because they're like, oh, is it okay because I'm not Māori, but my husband is or my wife is, and our kids are Māori now. I'm like, kei te pai, you can, that's all good. I will moko you. Um, and you earn moko, and so people can earn it. And I'll probably
Mm-hmm.
get shot down for this one, but there's some
No.
tauiwi out there, or there's some Pākehā out there that deserve moko more than Māori, some Māori.
Mm.
And so there is a small part of a worthiness there, which I don't
Yeah.
think just giving someone part of a meaning is all good. Like, and that's what kirituhi has sort of been, um, as I've learned, that's what that is. And
Yeah.
I'm seeing some artists, even tattoo artists that aren't Māori or that um, are first and foremost tattoo artists, and they're now offering kirituhi um, as a way to just moko anybody, you know. And yeah, I do kirituhi, but my question to them is, what process do you change? So if you're
Mm.
doing moko, like if you've just done one right now, finished, and you karakia to open, karakia to close, and then the next person comes in to get a kirituhi, do you change your karakia?
That's a nice question.
Do you change any process, or is it just, yeah, jump back on and
Like
Like what?
it's just the name that changes, or really something in the process change. Like this thing about the karakia is so interesting. For now, anybody who I talked with just prefer to use moko, because they are like, what I do on Maori people and what I do on Pakeha, Tauiwi, it's the same thing. So for me, it's always moko. I put 100%, 110% of my effort on anything that I do. So for me, it's always moko. But
Mm.
one time I heard someone that I don't remember who, but probably, I don't know. They said that they used the term kirituhi because for non-Maori there is no whakapapa behind the design, and so because of that they use the term kirituhi.
Um, Now that's where we get to the part that, um, yeah, should they have got it or not? Um, and depending, like that's why it's best to hear the kōrero on the day,
Hmm.
because that's when it can become a money grab. Like,
Huh.
just come in, oh, it's okay. If you want one, you're just about going to be on your flight heading back to where you're from,
Whatever.
and um, so I can't really say about what someone's kōrero was, because it might be um, quite big and elaborate. Like, so I've had a person, and he didn't have a whakapapa um, to us, like to Māori. He was like fully a foreigner, but he had lived here for about 10 years of his life and was working here. And he was actually from Taiwan. He was
Oh,
Taiwanese. And he said, "Oh, I just love it. I've lived here in Taranaki, and really loves the maunga here." And he called it maunga. And he really loved Aotearoa. He says, I've
yeah.
been, all over the place since I've been here. I love your country. I love your people. And so I gave him moko. I said, "Wow, really, you were part of the land then. You know, you
Yeah.
if you worked for wherever you worked, somebody would have likely benefit from that here." Um,
Yeah.
so and he just had a really big connection to this. He goes, "I love it here. I just have to go home now, and I'm gonna be back though." So people like that, they're okay in my book. I mean, they were
Yeah.
he was just as much a part of the land as we were. After that, after 10 years, and um,
True.
so, but yeah, he didn't have any kids here. He hadn't had a Maori girlfriend or anything. So yeah, it was still though. I said no, like it's still moko for me. I'm not gonna give you some sort of downgraded version. Um,
True.
you know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
everything's still gonna be. You're gonna get a little piece of me on you. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not gonna call it anything else. But
Yeah.
I just hope others aren't using it as a money grab to just get anybody in off the street. Um, haven't learnt really any of our way, or um,
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah, makes
and then want it
sense.
for that, and then oh, we'll do kirituhi today.
Yes, probably because maybe this, I don't know, but maybe it could be also tied with tourism. So there are a lot of tourists, maybe foreign ones. So There is always, I don't know, but at least here, there is always this thing like, oh, yeah, we go on holiday, we get a tattoo together,
Mm,
like to remember the experience and things like this. I'm not one of those because usually I prefer to give a meaning to each tattoo that I have, even before Moko. Um, but I don't know, maybe it's because of tourism. You have tourists and maybe they don't know
mm,
anything about your culture. Like, for example, my parents came to Aotearoa like 20 years ago, 25 years ago,
mm,
and like I was no more because I wasn't even born yet. So even before, and when I asked them the first time, oh, no way, you went to New Zealand, how is that's so cool, but did you I don't know, like, did something, I don't know, did you saw something cultural about Maori, did you research anything, like, did you saw, and they were
mm.
like, oh no, they didn't know anything at all about the Maori. Anything. It was like, you were there. Yeah. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
I was shocked. It was 30 years ago. Yes, probably it was 30 years ago. So the times were different back then, I believe.
Mm,
Um but I was shocked, and maybe there are tourists who come there, they don't know anything, but they are like, oh, that looks cool, let's get one done, and
mm.
maybe you can make them buy kirituhi. I don't know.
Well, so with that way of thinking, like it wouldn't apply. So, like, if a Maori was to come up and say, "Oh, that looks cool, I want to get one," we would just tell them straight up, "It doesn't work like that." Like, you need to.
Yeah.
So when it comes to our own, it should be an easier process for our own to get one than for a foreigner to get one. But
Mm.
for some reason, we get
It's the other
tourists,
way around.
and then, oh, okay, we'll bend the rules a little bit, um,
Mm.
and we'll make them pay. And but that's the thing, is if there wasn't a dollar attached to it, they won't do it. You know, like their artist will. So if you were going to give one, I would say, well, do it for free then, and they'll say no. You know, and like yeah, there's a hard process even for Maori to get one. So if it's we can't just bend the rules um,
Mm.
to suit, otherwise it would take away, like, if yeah, for me, yeah, you can't call something else and expect the same outcome, or expect a good flow like that. Um,
Mm. Yeah.
and yeah, that's just where I hope some other artists um, aren't falling into. Like, oh well, we'll just go under the banner of kirituhi. It's not as tapu. We'll do these ones I've
Yeah.
already drawn. Like I've already done this one a year ago. Here, you want it? I'll slap it on you. And um,
Mm. Yeah.
yeah, that's a
Yeah.
big thing again that I'm not really for as well, as stenciling moko. Um,
Oh, yeah.
so I see a lot
Yeah.
of people, they'll do part of the designing and they'll stencil something in the middle,
Ah,
and
okay.
I'm like, that's yeah, and who might have just drawn that? It was done pre meeting you, so the kōrero's
Yeah.
not the same. It was in a different mindset on a whole different day, and it's
Yeah.
sort of the same thing. It lines up for me like stenciling. um, that might as well be kirituhi.
Yeah. You know what happened to me some months ago? Like I met this guy in a at a party, and he
Yeah.
is pretty much fully covered in tattoos. And we were talking about tattoos from Polynesia, and he was like, and of course about Moko, and he was like, "Oh yes, I really would like to have the one on the face." And I was like, "But you can't." Like, I was just a bit surprised because I was like, if you just knew a little bit better, you know that you can't
Mm,
have Moko Kanohi as a Tawiwi, like, but and he was like, "Oh yeah, but yes and no." He said yes and no, but and he was annoyed by it because he was like, "Oh, these Maori are so precious, like the other like
mm,
Polynesian people." Are not like this with their tattoo traditions and things like this. I was like, in my mind, of course, I didn't say anything because I felt that it could come out rude. But I
mm,
was like, well, if this is your approach, probably is better this way. But
mm,
like, if like you can have it in any part of your body, if someone tells you, oh, this will be only for Maori people, like Kanohi, Peha,
mm,
and so on, like it's okay. Just
mm,
accept it. Like I don't know where is the problem, but he had this attitude and was like, yes, maybe because of this there are this limitation, and Maori are trying, at least I feel like that the community overall is
mm.
trying to preserve this form of art, or at
Well,
least
yeah,
at yeah,
mm,
let's go.
yeah. Oh, it's like because some parts have to be reserved um, for Maori, and that's just the way that that was reserved. So I could only, like when for like to make it easy for Tawiwi to understand, like
Mm,
the passing down of something that was only for you. Like a crown jewels or something, or a family heirloom, and
mm,
it only pertained to you, your family. Like that was, and it's been a part of us for a long time, and we wouldn't come and try and take that, like, oh, well, we want that too, like, um, like, so it's not like a, nah, you can't have it because you're not one of us. It's just, it's reserved for a different people and a different knowledge that you need to
mm,
have to wear this. Because
yeah.
for me, my thing is I can't have a kaiwhiwhi come in, a receiver come in, and they know more about moko than I do. Like, people
It
can
would
come
be
in and have,
strange.
yeah, like you can come in and you can have more reo than me. Like you can speak more beautiful Maori than I can, or
Hmm.
in Katy Pai, you can know what you know, but I have to make it my job to know more about moko than you do, because otherwise, yeah, and that's across the board, the terminologies, the whakapapa, the styles, other artists. It's my job to know about these things and to share that. Um, so you leave a bit better equipped. Otherwise, if I don't, and I haven't, I maybe have one or two people that have come in that have told me something about moko, but
Really?
and I'm not trying to blow my head up that I know everything about it, because I don't. I'm still learning, but I need to know more than the people that aren't in the space.
Mm.
and because of that, so that people have the knowledge behind it when they go away. Like, yeah, it's not just a tattoo. It's
Yeah.
not just um, something pretty. Like you're wearing something now, and it's forever. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just had trouble with trying to do that um, with kirituhi. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah. The third couple of terms is Mataora versus Kanohi. I don't know, still to this day, I didn't understand if there is a difference in like what you mean by using one term or the other, or if they are synonyms.
so kanohi, that's the Maori word for face.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's yes, but then Mataora, that was the name of a man
Mm-hmm.
in in our stories, but the word Mataora is um, in itself like mata face ora life, but um,
Hmm.
that you're worn your wearing your life, you know, like it's the story of my life.
Yeah.
And when you look into it, yeah, like it talks about all different um, things that you've got going on within over could be decades,
Yeah.
and so that's in those two words. Kanohi is the physical, matora is the spiritual. That's like literally the story behind getting moko kanohi, which is facial
Makes
moko. Um,
sense.
but that's um, different terms. So when you say like moko kanohi, um, I guess it's kind of nuance just to cover facial moko because that's like the literal term. Um, but yeah, you majority would that would just fall under mataora and those kinds of things because that's the story.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So now we have said now that Pakeha or Tauiwi can receive Moko. But what about Pakeha or Tauiwi who practice Moko? Like, I don't know if you know, but there are a ton of people that now okay, yes, there are people who say they do Maori tattooing, but you look at them and it's not Maori tattooing. But recently I saw some people who like here in Italy who tattoo Moko, like you
mm,
see that it recalls a lot Moko, but the flow is
mm.
off, and you see that something isn't right. And also, what do you think about that?
um, for me, that's wrong. Um,
Mm.
especially if they haven't come and sat in this space because that it's for a lot of us we've had to wānanga um, a lot and learn along the way and um, it's definitely not about the money for a lot of us like
Mm.
and that's strictly what it's about if you're non-Māori and they got these tattoo parlors that's strictly what it's about as a money thing because we can offer a different design, you know, and if they haven't been a part of this, then they won't know the origins of it, and they won't be able to do it justice, and
Mm.
because there is flow to it all, and you'll see it. I've seen um, some done by foreigners, and it does look like a tattoo, like they've used tattoo elements to achieve the outcome, and
Yeah.
it's not, it's that's what makes it moko, is that for me, is that Māori did it, you know.
Yeah.
And if you had to come here to get it, kei te pai, it was the big long journey to get it.
Yes.
Um, but so it'll be like just a knockoff,
Mm.
you know. If you wanted the full experience, you haven't achieved that by
Yeah,
going
but
that way.
also I think that also with patterns, like we talked about them a lot, but the thing is that it's if you don't, like if you're not taught by other artists, or if you're not, like you're not in the marae,
Mm,
you really are not in the environment, it's impossible to know about patterns. Yes, you know maybe four or five of them, which are
mm,
the more common ones, but then you have all the others that you don't know. You
mm,
can't really know what's the difference, like the different styles tied to the areas. And this I know because I know that it's an information that I can't
mm,
take anywhere. You just need to learn it from the people who have the knowledge of it, and those people are Maori people, and
mm,
they are in Aotearoa. So that's also the thing
mm.
why what they do is not Moko and can't be Moko.
It's more like for those kaififi, those ones that receive it, they're being deceived. You know,
True.
they're the ones being stooped because they have been. Yeah, no, it's authentic. Like, and who knows what story they'll spin them to. Um,
Yeah.
you know, to have gotten that money out of them, and
Mm.
it just that's why it doesn't really happen here. Like they're real on the secret. Um, if they're non Maori that are doing moko here, like you won't really hear about them.
Mm.
And the ones that do, yeah, people don't get along with them. Um,
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. But is
yeah,
this topic discussed like in the Maori artist field? Like,
yep, yep. It's talked about at Wananga, but it's like a
yeah.
why would you do that? Like it's really that's why with the Wananga you get all the rules sort of put out in front of you, and that's why Tauiwi are invited so that they can get a deeper um, meaning behind
Yes,
it
but
because
if
it's
they come there, they
mm.
would be able to do Moko.
um, well, it's sort of like it's not like a straight up like a pass. Like if you come to one and now you can start doing moko. Like it's more
Hmm.
so you've tried, you've come and learnt it. Um, some decide, oh, actually, I might leave it um, after they've come to the wānanga. Like
Hmm.
some decide, oh, actually, I might leave the doing moko now. I didn't realize it wasn't something just anyone could do. Um, so I would invite a lot to come and try and
Hmm.
get a
That's
deeper
nice.
knowledge about it. Um, in saying that, though, so it's sort of a little bit not off topic, but in saying that, for a little while, like like back in the 80s and that, um, and there weren't as many taimoko artists around. A lot of Māori were actually going to Pākehā tattoo artists and taking them designs to get it done on them. And they didn't have a knowledge around it. The person receiving did. And so it wasn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
They did a
But
bit
it
of
was
a.
different.
Mm,
Like the times were different, and in that case, they gave like a contribution to,
mm,
bring it back to life. It was, the beginning.
mm,
So that had a sense done that way, even because in some way people were coming with the designs, right? So
mm,
they just had to tattoo the design. They didn't had to have the knowledge to
mm,
really do it from scratch. While now you have artists like tattoo artists that do it from scratch without having the knowledge. So, and it's creating a lot of confusion on what Maori tattoos really are and really look
mm,
like. Like, I see it because I am so far away from Aotearoa, and in Italy, um, people often thinks that Maori tattoo, and these also some tattoo artists think that Maori tattoos are like the Tahitian style tattoo
mm,
or the Marquesian style tattoo. They call it Maori tattoo, or the polymix style.
mm,
They call it Maori tattoo. So even Kaififi then come and think that that is Maori tattoo.
mm,
That's creating a bit of mass confusion.
mm, mm. And it I think with Instagram too, that's kind of fueled um, the
Mm,
some of that mass confusion,
mm,
because there's never been a time before where all of our arts have been on such display like this, to all over the world. Like for a long time, you had to come to New Zealand and then, is there, that's what they're doing here, like or like you kind of had to read it in the book, but
true.
now that it's everywhere, um, yeah, there's more adapting the style, mixtures of styles. You're getting Polynesian moko and Cook Island moko and tatau aspects and moko aspects,
Mm,
and you can't really stop that because there's a mixture of people. Like someone come in and they're like, "Oh, my father was Samoan, my mother's Maori. Can you do me a mixture of that?" Yeah, there's nothing really wrong with that. It's just making sure that you're doing it justice. Really try and let the story and pūrākau and tikanga guide your hand.
yeah,
And that you will only get that from a genuine moko artist from here. And you'll
yeah,
know everybody leaves the space um, revitalized. Um, I get a lot of people that, I get, thank you, you've just started something for me. Get a lot of tears because they're um, like it was just such an amazing experience for them. Um, it's always positive.
so that's it. But before closing our kōrero, I want to ask you, because I want people to learn some words in reo, Maori. So I will ask you to choose a word in reo and give the meaning, and then of course give a I don't know, some greetings to people who watched the episode, and if you have any suggestions for their maybe future moko.
Mm, okay. Um, so a word, a terminology,
Mhm.
um, I could probably tell you about. Um,
It could be random, really.
Maybe kurawaka. Have you had kurawaka before?
No.
So kurawaka is a terminology for a forearm wrap.
Oh, okay.
So like
Nice.
a gauntlet style. So um, and kurawaka was a place. So it's said in one of our origin stories about um, Tani, and he creates the first woman,
Huh.
and he goes to a place called Kurawaka. Kurawaka was the place where the earth, Mother Earth, Papatsuanuku, like had her mati. Tane goes there and he digs in the clay, or the what we call kokowai over here, and it's like a red ochre clay,
Ah, okay.
and it's he's digging around in this clay and he's shaping this being, and he doesn't know what it is yet that he's shaping, but it eventually forms into a body, the shape of a body, and he has the essences of life um, with him at the time, which are known as the whatukura. But they were, one side is the whatukura, the other side is the māorekura, which is the male essence and the female essence. And he takes the female essence, not knowing that it's a female essence yet, but he um, looks at this body that he's shaped out of the clay, and he pressed his nose against its nose, and he said Tiho Moriora, which is the breath of life. And she awakens, that he breathes life into her, and this clay stands up and awakens, and that's the first woman. And her name was Hine Ahu One, which is like the lady of the soil, One. Um, and it's said that in doing that, while he was carving her out of the clay, he stained his forearms, and they never went away. And
Hi,
those stains
no way.
became known as kurawaka. And so when we put these on, it's in uh, memory of that stain. And so that's a small origin to do with moko. Yeah, in the origin of the word kurawaka itself, to
Thank
do with
you,
moko.
Gami
Um,
Hinui. Really, this was a cool kōrero. Puraka, probably.
Kei pai. It's a lot of others will be able to elaborate on that as well. But if there was any advice I could give
Mm-hmm.
um, anyone starting about moko, um, your journey into moko for tauiwi, is just really do your research into who you want to get it done, because that's a big part of the process, and that's a big part of the the good feeling you will get if you've done it right will come from a good artist. Um, so so really look into who your kaita is and where you're going to be coming over here. For Māori, my fellow Māori, um, I would say if you're just getting started in Moko, um, don't get so caught up with making an Instagram, and don't get so caught up with trying to change the wheel and trying to change Moko. Really try and perfect what you've got. Go and try these styles. Don't forget about the pen and paper. You know, the iPad will correct everything you do. So you can't just rely on the stability pen, um, and it stabilizes
Exactly.
all of your lines. A bit of advice I heard at the beginning was you're not going to get good at pulling lines without pulling lines. So just give what you know a go. You know, don't get caught up with, oh, that's how this fella's doing it, that's how that fella's doing it, so I can't do those styles or those patterns. If you're good at them, do those first. Don't copy. Don't do a straight up and down copy of someone, but don't think that anybody owns these patterns because they don't. It's for
Makes
all of us
sense.
to try and find what you're good at and perfect that.
So thank you so much. Thank you so much for being my guest
Oh,
to
kei
this
te pai.
fifth episode.
Ai, nau mai, hara mai, nō reira, e mihi ana ki a koe, e mihi ana ki a koutou e whakarongo mai nei. Um, e roa te kōrero i tēnei rā, i runga i a ipurangi. Nō reira, kei te, ka nui te hari me te koa ki konei, ki te whakawhiti kōrero i a koe e hoa. Um, kei te pirangi au i tūtaki i a koe i te anamata. Um, Nō reira, nau mai hara mai ki taku kāinga um, nā wakatoa. Um, Nō reira, tēnā koe, tēnā koutou e whakarongo mai nei. So, thank you for having me. Um, thank you for for our kōrero today. And yeah, if you're ever over here, no mai, you're welcome. Just let me know, and be good to keep in touch. And
Yeah.
um, yeah, that's the last thing I'll say. That I'm very passionate about moko and all things moko and all things toi Māori. So always willing to chat.